Ever catch yourself doing that thing where, like, you're driving around and out of nowhere, this car just, like, glides past you? And it's not just, oh, that's a nice car. It's, like, different, next level.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a Maybach, for instance.
Oh, for sure.
And it gets you thinking, right?
Totally.
Like, what is it about that thing that just screams luxury?
Right.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Okay, love it.
We're using this this used car listing.
Okay.
A 2024 Mercedes-Benz Maybach GLS600 4MATIC.
Okay.
To decode the world of, like, extreme opulence.
It's funny how, like, a single object, can be like a cultural Rosetta Stone almost.
Yeah.
It's not just about, horsepower and leather seats and stuff. It's like, what are the aspirations behind a purchase like this?
Right.
Right.
And you can tell this listing, it has a story.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, so practically brand new, right?
Okay.
Under 10,000 miles.
Wow.
Listed at almost $180,000.
Okay.
Now, you know how the market is.
Yeah.
That's a choice, right?
It is a choice.
To list it that high.
And I think that price point alone says a lot about who they're targeting. This isn't someone who's looking for, like, a practical SUV.
Right.
It's about sending a message.
Totally.
This is a statement, before you even, like, leave your garage.
And our dealer here, Texas Hot Rides,
Okay.
they seem to know their audience.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing financing, trade-ins.
Well, it's interesting. It's like they're trying to appeal to people who are already used to this level of, like, luxury, but also maybe tempting those who are, maybe new to the game.
It's a small fortune, but, like, have you considered the monthly payments?
Yeah, exactly. They understand the psychology behind this.
Totally, yeah.
But before we get too deep into the weeds of that,
Great.
let's break down the car.
Well, I was hoping you'd say that. First up, paint job. Because, hello, first impressions.
Right.
Two-tone. Kalahari Gold Metallic.
Right.
I'm already picturing a desert sunset paired with obsidian black metallic.
Wow.
And get this, that paint job alone, $18,500 option.
See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
At this price point, it's not about just having, like, a nice car.
It's next level.
Yeah, it's bespoke. Like,
Yeah.
you're choosing a two-tone paint job with names like that. It's like, it's exclusive. It's for people who, they get it.
It's like buying a suit off the rack versus having one tailored.
Exactly.
Speaking of things that are next level, can we talk about the wheels on this thing?
Oh, yeah.
23-inch Maybach multi-spoke wheels.
Wow.
Another $5,500, by the way.
Oh.
Are these wheels or are they modern art? I don't even know.
It really is like, where's the line? But that's the thing, right? These design elements, they're status symbols on top of an already existing status symbol.
Right.
You're driving a Maybach, that already says something.
Exactly.
But you've got the paint, the wheels. It's like you're speaking a whole nother language.
It's like this secret club, and you're just like, no-de, driving down the road, giving other Maybach owners a little nod.
Yeah, I see you.
But, let's be real. I feel like this car probably spends most of its time being chauffeured,
Right.
So let's talk about what it's like to be driven in this thing.
Okay, yeah.
Because, who has time for achy muscles when you're busy being chauffeured around town, right?
Exactly.
So picture this. Heated, cooled, and massaging seats.
Oh, yes, sign me up.
All while sipping on something chilled from your built-in refrigerator.
Not just any refrigerator.
No.
Champagne flutes.
All right.
That, to me, says everything about what they're going for here.
Okay, now I'm picturing, like, being handed a chilled glass of bubbly while we're just, like, gliding through traffic.
It's an experience.
Talk about arriving in style. Okay, but wait, there's more. Folding tables.
No way.
This car is like a mobile office or like a 5-star dining experience on wheels. Your pick.
Wow.
It's all about crafting that experience.
And speaking of which, I got to ask about this flowing lines wood trim.
Yes.
What is that?
Right. It's like they took a page from, like, a winemaker's book.
Right.
Like notes of oak and vanilla, but like for wood trim.
I love that they use the phrase flowing lines. It's so vague.
Right.
But that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
It implies craftsmanship, artistry. Like, this wood grain wasn't just cut. It was, like, selected.
It plays into that whole desire for something unique,
Exactly. Even if it is part of a larger production, it's that perception.
Totally. Perception is everything. Which brings us to, like, the language of the listing.
Okay.
Enjoyment, turn heads, one of a kind.
They're selling an idea,
Right.
not a car. It's aspirational.
And they're not afraid to, like, go global either.
Right.
Third-party inspections, worldwide shipping.
We've thought of it all.
So why are we, like, dissecting a luxury car listing on the deep dive. What's the takeaway for our listener?
It's a glimpse into, a world that many people only dream of.
Right.
And it's not just about the car. It's understanding how these subtle cues and like aspirations, how they influence all of us, even if we don't realize it.
Totally. It's kind of like, money can't buy happiness, but
Right.
it can buy you a Maybach. Okay, maybe not exactly how the saying goes.
But you get the idea.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
But makes you wonder, like, what is the relationship between, like, luxury and happiness?
Oh, man. That's a question for the ages, isn't it?
Right?
I don't know if we have the answer to that one.
Right. Is it, like, the owning of something that's, like, rare and beautiful? Or is it the success that, like, comes with that? Or is it just being able to have that kind of extravagance?
Yeah, it's probably a mix of all those things. I mean, for some people, it might be about, like, aligning themselves with a certain, social group.
Right.
Or maybe it's like, hey, look at me, I've made it, projecting a certain image.
Totally.
But for other people, it might be more about like rewarding themselves for hard work.
Right.
Or like indulging a passion.
And let's not forget, like, the sensory pleasure.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
The feel of that leather, the smell of the wood trim.
Luxury at its core is about those heightened sensory experiences. Like creating this cocoon of comfort and beauty.
Right.
And surrounding yourself with, things that just make you feel good.
Even if it's unnecessary to the average person.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so we've established luxury is more than just the object, right? It's the emotions, the story.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, practically speaking, what do you get with this Maybach that you couldn't get with, like, I don't know, a Honda CR-V?
Well, okay, besides the whole status symbol thing, you are getting, like, the top of the line everything. Engineering, technology,
Right.
craftsmanship.
The 4.0L twin-turbo V8 engine,
Come on.
550 horsepower.
Yeah. And not that you're going to be, like, taking this thing off-roading.
Right, exactly.
But it's there if you need it.
It's like having a secret weapon that you never plan on using.
Exactly. It's about having access to, like, the best of the best. Whether you use it or not almost doesn't matter.
And I bet the driving experience is just, like, out of this world. Like, even with those massive wheels, it probably just glides over potholes. Like, they're not even there.
You're probably right. I mean, these suspension systems, they're designed to give the smoothest ride imaginable. It's about, like, isolating you from the world outside.
It's a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Looking at this features list again, something else caught my eye. The piano black lacquer wood trim.
Ooh.
It sounds so fancy.
It does, right.
And
And again, it's that, like, air of exclusivity, right?
Right.
Like, this isn't just any wood. It was, like, hand-selected, hand-finished.
Right.
Or at least that's the idea they're going for.
It's like the difference between owning, like, a print of a famous painting and owning the original.
Totally.
They both show the same image,
Yeah.
but it's the story behind the original that, like, gives it the value.
100%. It's not just about the object itself. It's the story behind it. And this Maybach, even with, under 10,000 miles,
Right.
it's already got a story. And that's what's so cool about this whole thing.
Totally. We're, like, peeling back these layers of, like, aspiration, status.
It's human nature, right? We're drawn to this stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of details,
Yeah.
did you notice how many times they mention that it's a one-owner vehicle?
I didn't, but now that you mention it,
Why do you think they do that?
oh, that's a good point. I think it plays into that, that idea of, like, provenance, a history,
Right.
especially at this price point, a one-owner car. It suggests it's been meticulously cared for.
Like buying, like, a vintage handbag from a celebrity.
Right, exactly.
Like, the price is outrageous, but you're not just paying for the bag, you're paying for the story.
100%. You're buying into, like, a piece of someone else's story. And that, in a way, is what luxury is.
It's that feeling when you walk into, like, a high-end boutique. You're not
Yeah.
just paying for the materials, you're paying for that experience.
Yeah. That feeling of being part of something, exclusive.
Exactly. And they are not subtle about it either. I mean, like, check out this line from the listing.
Okay, lay it on me.
This car is a must-see. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind car to stand out in the crowd, look no further.
See, they know their buyer wants to stand out.
Of course.
Take a statement.
How else are you going to do it besides, driving down the road in a gold and black Maybach?
Right.
But they also try to balance that with practicality. Did you catch how they're, like, really big on the factory warranty, the Carfax, the inspections?
Well, yeah, because even when you're dropping this much on a car,
Yeah.
People want reassurance.
Right.
It's a smart move.
Don't worry, it's certified pre-owned.
Exactly.
It's like they're adding this layer of, like, it's okay, you can trust us.
Legitimacy.
To an otherwise very, like, emotional purchase.
Totally. And it goes back to that idea of exclusivity, right?
It all comes back around, full circle.
It's not just a car. It's this whole, like, curated experience from the second you're, like, tell me more, to the day you drive it off the lot.
They've really thought of everything. They even mention, like, helping with worldwide shipping.
Of course.
This car is ready to travel no matter where you are.
It's like having a concierge, but for your car. Which, brings us back to our main point. This isn't just some used car listing.
Yeah.
It's a look into this whole world of luxury and aspiration.
Yeah. It's fascinating. It's like we're doing archaeology or something.
Right.
But instead of, like, digging up pottery shards, we're, like, piecing together this whole lifestyle.
Totally.
And our clues are, like, these carefully worded descriptions and, a $5,500 set of wheels.
And speaking of those wheels,
right,
it's amazing how much, like, emphasis is put on those little things.
Totally.
When you're talking about luxury, it's those little details.
It's true.
They make all the difference.
It's like I'm still thinking about the champagne flutes in the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah?
It's not about having a cold drink. It's about, like...
It's about the experience.
Yes. Elevating the whole thing.
It's like they've thought of everything you could ever want.
Right.
Before you even know you want it.
It's like having a personal butler.
Exactly.
But, like, instead of a tuxedo, he's got,
right,
a twin-turbo V8 engine.
Yeah, and a panoramic sunroof.
There you go. But, on a more serious note...
Okay, yeah.
It really highlights how, with luxury, you got to have both. Right?
Wait, 100%.
The functionality
Mm-hmm.
and the, like, I'm going to spoil myself aspect. So it's not enough to just, like, have a comfy ride, right?
No.
You need the heated massaging seats, the champagne in the flute.
Of course.
All while you're surrounded by, like, the finest leather and wood.
It's all got to be effortless.
Exactly.
Because of the, technology and the design.
Yeah. They're creating a world where... like, every little thing is taken care of.
Where every moment feels luxurious.
It's kind of making me want to, like, rethink my next road trip.
Right.
Maybe I need a Maybach.
Maybe.
Or at least, like, a set of champagne flutes for my cup holder.
You go.
But what's really interesting is, like...
What's that?
Even if we're not all out here buying $180,000 SUVs...
Right.
We're still drawn to this stuff.
It's aspirational.
Totally. Like, even just looking at a website listing.
It's the power of a good story.
It's true.
They've made us want to be a part of this world, even if it's just for a minute.
It's like they say, you can take the person out of the luxury SUV.
But you can't take the luxury SUV out of the person.
Something like that.
Another deep dive classic. But really, this has been, like, eye-opening. We've learned so much about, like, how luxury works.
We talked about the marketing and, like, what makes people want things.
And how to create an experience.
And we started with just a car listing.
It just goes to show you never know where these deep dives will take us.
That's the truth. So next time you see one of these cars or anything that, like, makes you stop and stare, remember, it's not just about, like, being fancy.
It's about the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
The story, the dream, the, like...
the feeling.
Yes. The feeling they're trying to sell you.
Exactly.
Well, on that note...
yeah.
I think I'm going to go browse some more luxury car listings.
Of course.
Purely for, research.
Of course. Of course.
But until next time, keep on diving deep, everybody.
Yeah. You never know what you'll find.
See ya.
Bye.